The Martin family, seemingly like any other, prepared for a simple outing on December 7th, 1958. It was a day that started with the usual hustle and bustle of a family getting ready for a day out. The children were excited, their laughter echoing through the house as they hurried to get dressed. The parents, though busy, shared a knowing smile, appreciating these moments of family togetherness. They were residents of Portland, Oregon, a city known for its picturesque landscapes and vibrant community. The Martins were well known in their neighborhood, often seen participating in local events and gatherings. Their home was a modest but cozy place, filled with the warmth and love of a close-knit family.
I worked as a salesman. My job took me to various parts of the city, meeting different people and learning their stories. It was a job I enjoyed, not just for the income it provided, but for the connections I made along the way.
And I was a homemaker. My days were filled with the joys and challenges of raising our 3 children, managing the household, and ensuring that our home was a place of comfort and happiness. It was a role I cherished deeply.
They had 3 children, Donald, age 10, and 2 daughters, Susan, age 7, and Virginia, just 5 years old. Each child had their own unique personality and interests. Donald was curious and adventurous, always eager to explore new things. Susan was creative, often found drawing or crafting something with her hands. Virginia, the youngest, was full of energy and had a contagious laugh that could brighten anyone's day. The family planned a trip to the countryside. It was a much-anticipated outing, one that they had been looking forward to for weeks. The countryside offered a break from the routine, a chance to breathe in the fresh air and enjoy the beauty of nature.
We wanted to pick out a Christmas tree. It was a tradition we held dear, a way to kick off the holiday season with joy and togetherness. The children loved the process, from selecting the tree to decorating it with ornaments and lights. It was a cherished annual tradition. Each year we would bundle up in our warmest clothes, pile into the car, and head out to find the perfect tree. The excitement was palpable, and the memories we created during these trips were some of our most treasured.
Little did they know, this trip would be their last. The weather, which had seemed fine in the morning, began to change as they drove further from home. Dark clouds gathered ominously, casting a shadow over the road ahead. The day began like any other, filled with the anticipation of holiday cheer. The Martins were in high spirits, discussing their plans for the upcoming Christmas celebrations. They talked about the gifts they would give, the meals they would share, and the joy of being together as a family. They packed up their station wagon with everything they needed for the day. Blankets, snacks, and a thermos of hot cocoa were carefully placed in the back. The children helped, their excitement growing with each passing minute.
The children, bundled in warm clothes, chattered excitedly. They could hardly contain their enthusiasm, talking about the fun they would have and the tree they hoped to find. Their joy was infectious, spreading to their parents and making the day feel even more special. We were eager to find the perfect tree. The search was always an adventure, with each family member offering their opinion on which tree was the best. It was a time of laughter and bonding, a moment that brought us closer together.
The Martins set off on their journey that crisp December morning. The air was cold, but their hearts were warm with the promise of a wonderful day ahead. They sang songs and played games as they drove, enjoying each other's company. Their destination was the sprawling Columbia River Gorge, a popular spot for tree hunting. The gorge was known for its stunning landscapes and abundant trees, making it the perfect place for their annual tradition. The air crackled with the promise of snow. The children pressed their faces against the car windows, hoping to catch the first glimpse of snowflakes. The landscape around them was a winter wonderland, adding to the magic of the day. The children's laughter filled the car, their joyous sounds a stark contrast to the tragedy that awaited them. Unbeknownst to the Martins, fate had a different plan for their day. As they drove deeper into the countryside, the weather took a turn for the worse, setting the stage for an unforeseen and heartbreaking event. The Martins were last seen at a gas station in Cascade Locks, Oregon. This small, quiet town was known for its picturesque views and friendly locales, making it an unlikely setting for a mystery. It was around 4 o'clock in the afternoon. The sun was beginning its descent, casting long shadows across the town. They filled up their car, a routine task that seemed unremarkable at the time. The car, a classic 1950s model, was a familiar sight in the neighborhood. They bought snacks for the drive home. The children picked out their favorite treats, while the parents grabbed a few essentials for the road. A friendly exchange with the attendant marked their last confirmed interaction. The attendant, a local who knew the family well, later recalled their cheerful demeanor. They vanished into the approaching dusk. The sky turned a deep orange, then purple, as the day gave way to night. As darkness descended, the Martins failed to return home. The streets, usually bustling with evening activity, were eerily quiet. Worry gnawed at their relatives. The Martins were known for their reliability, and their sudden absence was out of character. Hours crawled by, each tick of the clock amplifying the growing fear. The family members watched the clock, hoping for any sign of their return. The family was known for their punctuality, their absence deeply unsettling. They had never been late without a good reason. By late evening, their disappearance had transformed from concerning to alarming. Frantic calls were made, neighbors joined the search, the authorities were alerted, the community, tight-knit and supportive, rallied together in the face of the growing crisis. A pall of dread settled over the community. The once lively town was now gripped by fear and uncertainty. The search for the Martin family began, a desperate scramble against time and the encroaching winter night. Volunteers scoured the area, their flashlights cutting through the darkness. The cold air was filled with the sounds of anxious calls and rustling leaves as everyone hoped for a miracle. Police launched a full-scale investigation. They scoured the area where the Martins were last seen. The vast wilderness of the Columbia River Gorge became the primary focus. Search parties combed through dense forests and treacherous ravines. Every passing hour dimmed the hopes of finding the family safe. Days morphed into weeks. The search continued, fueled by a mix of dwindling optimism and sheer determination. Despite their efforts, authorities uncovered frustratingly little. The family's station wagon was never found. No signs of struggle or foul play surfaced. The case grew colder with each passing day.
The lack of evidence only deepened the mystery. Theories began to circulate. Had they met with foul play? Was there an accident? Or had they chosen to disappear voluntarily? Each possibility was scrutinized, yet none provided a satisfactory explanation.
Whispers in the wind theories and speculations. In this section, we delve into the myriad of theories and speculations that have surrounded the mysterious disappearance of the Martin family. Over the years, countless ideas have been proposed, each adding a layer of intrigue to this unsolved case. The mystery of the Martin family's disappearance captivated the nation. Speculation ran rampant, with newspapers and radio shows buzzing with the latest theories. The public was eager for answers, and every new piece of information was dissected and discussed at length. Some whispered of a family feud gone wrong. Rumors circulated that tensions within the Martin family had reached a boiling point, leading to a tragic outcome. Friends and neighbors recalled heated arguments and unresolved conflicts that might have escalated beyond control. Others pointed to Ken Martin's line of work, hinting at possible connections to organized crime. Ken's job had brought him into contact with some unsavory characters, and some speculated that he might have crossed the wrong people. Could his professional life have put his family in danger? Theories, however outlandish, provided a semblance of explanation in the face of the unknown. People clung to these ideas, hoping to make sense of the inexplicable. Each theory, no matter how far-fetched, offered a potential answer to the haunting question of what happened to the Martins. One of the most prevalent theories centered around the rugged terrain of the Columbia River Gorge. The area was known for its treacherous roads and steep cliffs, and many believed that the family might have met with an accident while navigating this challenging landscape. Could their car have veered off the road, plunging into the icy depths of the river? The thought of a tragic accident was a grim but plausible explanation. The Columbia River was deep and fast-flowing, and a vehicle could easily be swept away, leaving no trace behind. The possibility of a tragic accident, while heartbreaking, offered a plausible, if grim, explanation. Families who had lost loved ones in similar accidents found a sense of solidarity in this theory, understanding the pain of such a sudden and devastating loss. Another theory suggested a deliberate act. Some believed that the Martins' disappearance was not an accident, but a carefully planned escape. This idea opened up a whole new realm of possibilities and questions. Had the Martins decided to disappear, to start anew, far from their lives in Portland? This theory suggested that the family might have been facing pressures or threats that led them to take such a drastic step. Could they have left everything behind to protect themselves or to seek a better life elsewhere? This possibility, though less likely, couldn't be entirely dismissed. The idea of a voluntary disappearance intrigued many, as it painted the Martins as active agents in their fate rather than passive victims. It also raised questions about what might have driven them to such an extreme decision. The lack of evidence only fueled the speculation, leaving a community grappling with unanswered questions. Every empty road and abandoned place became a potential clue, and every historical artifact left behind was scrutinized for hints, leaving a community grappling with unanswered questions. The search for answers brought the community together, with people gathering to discuss theories, share information, and keep the memory of the Martins alive. Despite the passage of time, the mystery of their disappearance remains a poignant and unresolved chapter in the history of the Columbia River Gorge. Echoes of tragedy, the aftermath, and inheritance. Years passed, seasons turned, yet the mystery lingered. The disappearance of the Martin family left an indelible mark on Portland. The case, though classified as cold, never truly faded from public consciousness. The empty spaces left at the dinner table, the unhung stockings on the fireplace mantel, served as constant reminders of the tragedy. In the absence of their parents, custody of the children fell to relatives.
Their son, Donald, became the sole heir to the family's estate. He grew up haunted by the mystery of his family's vanishing. The inheritance, a bittersweet reminder of his lost childhood, did little to soothe the pain of their absence. If you like this story, hit the subscribe button.